Look how easily your kingdom crumbles before me. I should not have expected anything more from the people who serve such a weak goddess.
Let her go!
Oh, I will. It's not her life I'm after.
So I recently performed the voice for Ganondorf in Swagmasta's newest video, rewriting the story for Tears of the Kingdom. Let's talk about that. So when he was looking for voice actors for the story, he was, when I heard about it, I knew he was looking for Rauru and Ganondorf. So I auditioned for both of them. Let's go ahead and listen to my first test for Rauru real quick.
We have no reason to be scared. If he tries anything, I will rain hell down on him and his people.
I mean, you can tell that, like, you know, like I enjoyed reading some of those lines, but like I was doing my regular voice, right? I didn't have a perspective on the character. But Ganondorf was a character that, you know, I'd been interested in a long time. I had my own ideas of what he would sound like.
As the rightful king of the Gerudo, I represent my country. Speak your terms.
I had my own perspective on who Ganondorf was from my experience as a Zelda fan, and I really wanted to channel that into the role. So here's my audition for Ganondorf.
Your terms would see to the destruction of the Gerudo.
I really wanted to prove that it could work, so I even like processed it and lowered the pitch just a little bit, added a little reverb. I really wanted to prove that I could do this part, because even though, you know, I'm really naturally more of a tenor, but I felt like I had this perspective on the character. I felt like I could deliver the drama, the gravitas, and I really wanted to prove that like I had this idea of who Ganondorf was. I was kind of fighting for the role. And so here's that. Here's it with just a little bit of processing.
Your terms would see to the destruction of the Gerudo.
That was enough for Swaggmasta to prove that I could do the role, so we started planning the recording session, and I was getting ready for it. I read his script. I really fell in love with it because I love Tears of the Kingdom. I love that game, and I love so much of the story of it, the voice acting, the cinematics, the animation, the style of everything. I love that. But there were issues with the way that the story was integrated with the gameplay. And Swagmasta's, rewriting really fixed a lot of those issues. I was excited just to help prove Swagmasta's proof of concept and lend my voice for Ganon, and answer some of these lore questions as well, right? Because Tears of the Kingdom doesn't really interact with a lot of the Zelda timeline. So being a part of a story that did was really exciting to me as a Zelda fan. Like I said, I had my own ideas of who Ganondorf was, and, I think if I was doing Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker or Twilight Princess's Ganon, I would lean more into the subtlety, right? With the false surrender that turns into betrayal, right? I would really want to play it, maybe a little bit more Shakespearean. But the Ganondorf that we see in Tears of the Kingdom, he's a warlord. He's there to conquer Hyrule. He's sending out monsters. He's there, looking for power, attracted by the power of the spiritual stones. And so for Swagmasta's video, I really wanted to lean into that Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf, who is his own character, who I would play differently from other versions of Ganondorf. So we were really leaning into the grit, the raw anger that Ganondorf had. Is it righteous anger? You decide. But that's something that's different. And it's even different than Matthew Mercer's performance, who's a little bit more subtle too. And I think I would want to do something like that for other Ganondorfs. But it was really fun to tap into that more raw, guttural sound. So here's a clip of the behind-the-scenes process for recording. No, yeah, I did a read-through of everything earlier today. I'm super excited about these scenes. I think it'll be a lot of fun to read.
Glad to hear it. So Joe is going to be playing Ganondorf, and then you're playing Rauru. But yeah, I wanted to play pretty similar to the game, but just a little more of a cocky jerk than in the game.
Yeah, I mean, in the game, he sounds like basically like he just sounds like a dude, essentially.
Yeah.
You would think a big goat guy would sound a little different, but no, he's just a dude.
He's just a dude.
Let's do a first run through. I'm ready.
Sweet.
I'm good for a first run through.
Sounds good. All right, I'll kind of narrate the in-between. Ganondorf pulls out his katana, raises it into the air, and throws it on the ground. His guard does the same.
I would never betray the trust of potential allies.
Dark crimson sparks flash from Ganondorf's hands.
Stand down, or I will show you real power.
Oh, shoot. That's another note that I need to add. That's supposed to be Rauru.
Oh, come on.
I'm glad we're going over this.
Stand down, or I will show you real power.
So I really liked pretty much what both of you were doing. Joe, you're doing great.
But
There is actually no but. I'm just going to adjust the the audio. So your voice is deeper. You sound like it's just a giant, angry Gerudo. One thought that I had while you were going through them, I think it could work a little bit better as I kind of deepen your voice if you like pace out what you're saying a little bit more. I don't know if that made sense. Like basically spend more time saying words.
That makes sense, yeah.
Here, let me find a line to kind of demonstrate what
No,
I'm
I'm like spitting
about.
them out, right.
I think it could work well to go like, as the rightful king of the Gerudo, I represent my country. Speak your terms.
Just a little slower.
Kind of just like elongating the words. That way when I like deepen it down, it feels like smooth and like powerful.
That's a good note. Thank you.
As the rightful king of the Gerudo, I represent my country. Speak your terms.
He pauses and steps forward, towering over Raru.
Your terms would see to the destruction of the Gerudo.
Raru looks up into Ganondorf's face.
What would you propose? From what you have displayed, the destruction of your people is no concern of yours. The only desire you have is the downfall of all people, including your own. If I had not entered this war on behalf of Hyrule, you would have seen to the annihilation of my entire kingdom. I was made king to preserve this country, and I will settle for nothing less.
Ganondorf steps back.
I will see to it that no more attacks are leveled against your people, and I will pay for the reconstruction of your kingdom. But I will remain in my lands to rule over my people, as is my birthright.
Sweet. That was another really good take.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do one more take, just for good measure.
Let her go!
Zelda and Raru shout in unison.
Oh, I will. It's not her life I'm after.
That was really good. Joe, that line, oh, I will. It's not her life I'm after. Nailed it that time. That was awesome.
Sweet. Thank you.
All right, yeah, let's take it from the top one more time. And then I think that's all of the Ganondorf lines.
I think so. That's exciting. Well, of course, let me know as well if you're editing and you're like, oh, Joe, I would love one more take on this line. Feel free to hit me up and let me know if anything comes up.
Oh, yeah, I will. He bears a closer resemblance to the ancient demon king Demise than he does to his regular Gerudo form.
Look how easily your kingdom crumbles before me. I should not have expected anything more from the people who serve such a weak goddess.
Zelda faces down Ganondorf and pulls out the Master Sword.
If you had any sense of preservation, you would already be running. Go, little girl. I will even give you a head start.
I think that's all your lines. You can stick around if you want, but you're free to go whenever you want. Thank you again so much for helping me out with this.
It's been a pleasure. Like I said, let me know if there's anything else you need, any additional lines or re-records. I might go ahead and dip so I can get you the laughs. So I'll do that separately.
Yeah.
While y'all are recording. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. I'm so excited to see it come together later.
So after the voiceover session, I recorded some laughs on my own. I was really trying to channel that like Wind Waker style Ganondorf laugh and some of those Ocarina of Time sound effects and Twilight Princess Ganondorf laughs. But let's listen to those because I had a lot of fun with them and I think I got it. Let me know if you need another take. Just let me know. I think I've given you enough to work with. Yeah, you can tell I was having a lot of fun there. I listened to that and I was really proud of those takes. It was so raw and guttural and I was like, I feel the power there, right? And especially, you can imagine it being processed and I'm like, okay, like I hear that sound. I think it's there. But I did listen to it like the next day and I was like, well, maybe there is an option for a more subtler take. So I re-recorded a couple lines on my own, and I sent those over, and they were a little bit more subdued, a little bit more. I wanted to try a little bit less guttural and just see how that would sound, just trying to, read the lines a little bit more smoothly in that kind of Matthew Mercer style. So let's listen to those takes just to kind of compare it.
Look how easily your kingdom crumbles before me. I should not have expected anything more from the people who serve such a weak goddess. If you had any sense of preservation, you would already be running. Go, little girl. I will even give you a head start.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different, right? And I don't think those takes got used at all. I think it was all the first takes that were all more raw and guttural, which makes sense. A lot of Ganondorf's scenes in this story are confrontational. They're at the brink of war. They're threatening. There's power. It makes sense. This is not the, this story just doesn't show that more subtler side of Ganondorf, which I think you could see if he was, if there were scenes where he was talking to, the witches or his troops or, or the Gerudo chiefs or, whoever it is, right? Different scenes, or maybe a more private scene between him and the King of Hyrule. But there's not. This is a Ganondorf who is in your face. This is a warrior Ganondorf. And so I think it made sense to go with the takes that really channeled that feeling.
As the rightful king of the Gerudo, I represent my country. Speak your terms.
So all in all, I was really happy to provide the performance that I did. I'm really excited about this video. I think if y'all had issues with the story of Tears of the Kingdom, I think y'all will really like Swaggmasta's video. I was super excited to be a part of it. So go over to his channel, check it out. I had so much fun being a part of it. I was really, really happy to, I think just like fix this story. The story that I care about, but, can honestly talk about the fact that there are issues with the execution of Tears of the Kingdom story. And so, I think it was really nice just to kind of like, kind of just create something, or be a part of creating something that rectifies that. I can kind of walk away from it and go, right, this is what I would have wanted and I would have been happy. It's nice to finally see that actualized. I would love to do more voiceover stuff like this in the future. So if you're looking for voiceover for y'all's videos, if y'all are looking for Ganondorf or any other character, I'd be happy to be a part of it. So if y'all are a Zelda creator or a filmmaker, I'm a filmmaker, and I love collaborating with other creators. So hit me up. I'd love to be a part of it. You can check out some of my gigs on Fiverr, and you can hire me through there. Links in the description. But without further ado, I'll see y'all in the next video.
The story in Tears of the Kingdom is a lot like your uncle promising you a cool surprise, only to end up in the middle of the desert missing a kidney. While I was playing it, I couldn't help but think that even I could write a better story than this. So that's what I'm doing.